Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Clone Trooper 4-pack, which is an Amazon exclusive. I had no idea this thing even existed, but my buddy who lets me review all the Star Wars figures that I don't buy that he does, got it and gave it to me to review, so I'll be reviewing these. They're mostly the same figures that we've already seen before with minor changes. So I'm going to run through each of them really quickly. I don't think we need a height measurement. Like I said, we've already seen these figures a bunch of times before. And so let's get started. We're going to start with the Phase 1 Clone Trooper Commander, which is a Clone Trooper with yellow paint, which would normally be a problem. However, his yellow paint is, for the most part, not too bad. It looks good, and it's not... Usually with yellow paint, you get a lot of like bleeding and a lot of see-throughness. The word would be translucence, and you can generally see through the paint because it's not layered enough. But on this guy, it's not bad. So the yellow part, surprisingly, is good for the most part, so that's fine. However, he does have a lot of schmutz going on other areas. So it's just not a great rendition, especially for an exclusive 4-pack, which is like a collector's pack. It's just blah. It's just okay. It's like the, I guess it was a Captain I reviewed the other day that had, I think, orange, or was that I don't know. I'm not into the Clone Troopers that much, but whatever. It's just another repaint, so the articulation is still super limited, and it's just not very good. He does come with the long rifle, which has the painted white parts on it, and it's acceptable. It's not super good, but it'll get the job done, I guess, if you need him to have a rifle. It's just pretty hard for him to hold since his articulation is so limited. And he comes with the smaller standard blaster also. But just so you get an idea of the limited articulation, the shoulder pad completely blocks the shoulder from doing anything but swiveling. The elbows are actually not too bad, but they're not great. Even though it's a double joint, you're still really limited in the range of motion, so it's not good. He looks okay if you're just going to have him standing there. It's not going to be a big deal, but otherwise, it's not a very good figure. So that's the Phase 1 Commander. Now let's look at the Phase 2 Standard Trooper, which is actually one of my favorite designs of the Troopers. I just like the mix of the sleek armor with the more classic looking helmet. So it's a cool looking figure for me, but it's basically the exact same figure, for the mold anyway. If you look at it, the body, it's the same. So the only difference is the paint and the head. And if we're going to look at the head, we need to look at the paint up close, and it is acceptable. Most of the gray in the mouth is good. The little blue lines on there is good enough, or are good enough. It's acceptable. It's not particularly good, though, considering that it's not particularly detailed. So they should be doing a better paint job on these. And I know it's Hasbro, so we can't expect all that much, but still, it's disappointing. And then if you look, again, any of the parts that are white that are painted, still not very good. So it's really just the same story that we've already had with the Troopers. There's really nothing new for me to say for these except for the First Order Trooper that I haven't reviewed yet. But he does come with the this blaster. I guess that's more of like a medium size, but it's still a pistol. And then we get the longer rifle. So same thing as the other guy, just with no paint on them. And his armor is all completely white. So he'll look okay to stand there if you're going to army build him, fine, but don't expect him to be really dynamically posed or particularly good looking up close. So let's move on now to the Imperial Stormtrooper, which is the classic design. However, this one has what is supposedly battle damage. There's not a whole lot to talk about that's new other than the battle damage. So I'll point out what we have. We have like a scuff mark here, 2 giant splotches there, some kind of weird scuff on the shoulder, and we have one on the thigh. I don't think I've missed any. I think that's all of them. Hopefully I can get in close enough for you to see this problem that we have with this. I think I can. I think I can. Yes, I can. You can see the paintwork on those splotches has significant paint issue because you can see the dot matrix from the paint application. Hopefully I'm holding it steady enough. It looks really, really bad up close and in person. It's just not good looking at all. The face paint is acceptable, but every other part of the paint job is really poorly done. Looks really, really bad. It does have the classic Stormtrooper body, so there's not much to talk about there. He's got slightly better range of motion for the articulation than the other two. but he's just not good. He has his blaster, his long blaster, painted up with just a silver dry brush, which looks kind of crummy, but I guess it's okay. Then he also has his pistol blaster, which has a little bit of paintwork on it, but it's still fairly blah also. So just like all the other Stormtrooper figures, we have acceptable army builders, but not much else. And now we have the First Order Stormtrooper Officer, which is basically the same figure that came out in San Diego Comic-Con, or at San Diego Comic-Con, which I wasn't able to get one, unfortunately, to review for you guys, but this guy is the same figure with a red shoulder pad. And the red shoulder, at least that's what I'm told, the red shoulder pad is not painted particularly well. Big surprise, right? It seems to be the general story for all of these guys. It's all fuzzy looking because it looks like one single layer of paint. So you can see the black coming through it all over the place. It just doesn't look very good. And I want to point out, the packaging for this guy made him warped into it. I'm trying to hold my P pose. Like, he really has to go, and he's doing that weird little duck walk because he has to hold it in. So yes, you can heat it up and fix that, but it's still just a little bit disappointing that they're making molded packaging that's actually hurting the look of the figure. So it's disappointing. Even if you kept him in the box, he's going to look like this. So you're going to have to take him out and fix those legs so that he stands like a normal human being. As far as the articulation goes, he does have a little bit of a different setup in some places, so it's a good thing. The shoulder's still really limited due to the shoulder pad, but he has this elbow, which is actually not a good thing. It has very limited bend. You can't get 90 degrees out of it, but you do get an additional bicep swivel. Except, it's not additional because they didn't make this one that used to be a bicep swivel on all the other ones. It's no longer a bicep swivel, so that's not so good. The ab crunch, or the diaphragm joint, has a much greater range of motion, so that could be a good thing. It doesn't look the best always, but it does have it, so that's pretty good, I guess. The hips actually have decent range of motion. They go pretty far forward, out to the side, about 45 degrees, so that's alright. You have a thigh swivel built in, so that's pretty good. The knees work just fine. That's also good. But here's the ankle. It's very limited. It goes back just fine, so if you want to do that, no problem. It goes forward a little bit. Again, that's okay. But the ankle rocker itself, unless you're going to force it over that ankle cap like that, which isn't a good idea, it just doesn't have very much range. And he's got those really skinny feet that we've seen a few times using this new ankle joint. I don't personally care for it. And then the paintwork on this guy, you can see if we get in on the chest there, it's just looks really sloppy. And then the face, it's also really sloppy. So it's just another figure that's mediocre when it could have been easily much, much, much better. So this guy does come with another blaster, or two new blasters. They're not bad. They have a decent amount of paintwork on them. It's not particularly good paintwork, but it is acceptable. So there's the one. Then we have this longer one also, which is a little closer to the standard looking one. And again, decent amount of paintwork. It's just kind of fuzzy and not particularly good. So if you are into lots of poorly painted paint, then this is for you. Otherwise, the blasters are just okay at a distance, and up close, not so much. So as far as this 4-pack goes, if you're army building and if you like a variety of different troopers to army build, which doesn't really work out if you're army building appropriately, yeah, you can get this 4-pack, and, well, I don't even know if it's available anymore. I kind of doubt it. If you have to pay top buck for it on eBay or something, I don't really recommend it. It's not that good of a set, and most of the paint applications are sloppy, and you'd have to be a serious Star Wars fan or a collector to want to pay out big bucks for a bunch of figures that are repaints that are poorly executed. So, unfortunately, sad to say, it's not that good of a set. So sorry about that, all you Star Wars fans. You'll have to hope for something better coming out in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.